Everyone, Jana here at the 4-H office. So today's fun activity, we are going to go all CSI, forensic science, crime scene investigation, and I'm going to teach you how to lift some fingerprints off glass objects, which is a really cool thing to do, especially if you want to learn about fingerprinting, how each one of us, each fingerprint is different. We have different whirls and swirls, and they're unique to us. They stick with us wherever we go, and they can't be duplicated. So what you're going to need for today's fun activity is a glass piece, a plate, a bowl, a mug like this one. Just have somebody touch it. Just touch and release. Don't smear or anything, or you'll have some smeary fingerprints to lift. Shouldn't have necessarily the cleanest, driest hands. You need a little bit of oil on your fingers to leave your fingerprints. So what I did is I went downstairs and I asked Miss Rhonda to touch this glass, and she did, and she left some fingerprints on it while I held onto the handle. You're also going to need a piece of paper or newspaper on the table because we do get a little bit messy. You're going to need a paper plate, baking cocoa, a makeup brush, magnifying glass, pair of scissors, and some cellophane packing tape, along with an index card or two. So to get started, we're going to take a look. We do have our fingerprints here. I can see them. Nice fingerprints. I see some fingers, and then on this side, I see her thumb. So what we're going to do, you don't need a lot of baking cocoa, and I recommend putting it on the plate, especially if it's something that you're going to make cookies with. Just a little bit. Don't get too much, like I just did. Not good, but we'll take care of it. You're going to gently put your makeup brush into the cocoa, brush a little bit off, tap it off a little bit. You don't need a whole bunch, just a little bit. Very gently, you're just going to brush on the cup. Wherever you brush, where the fingerprints are, where the oil is going to pick up the baking cocoa and stick. So I'm just going to go around very gently, very lightly. I'm actually picking up fingerprints that aren't Miss Rhonda's, so we could have a little game. We could figure out whose fingerprint goes with who. You could actually fingerprint your family, your friends, just using an ink pad and some 3x5 cards and just gently putting your finger in and rolling on to get a nice clean print. So I'm just going to turn my glass around, gently dust, and where there weren't fingerprints, I now have some chocolate fingerprints showing up. This is what they do when they do a crime scene investigation. They actually pick up some prints. So I don't know if you can see them, but I do have some chocolate fingerprints on there. To pick them up, what we're going to do is simply grab some cellophane tape. Always make sure you know where the edge of this stuff is because it is a bear to find. I'm going to try to keep my fingerprints off of it because I've just lifted my own prints on the tape. Just cut some small pieces. Where you've dusted and your fingerprints have shown up, very carefully. I'm going to get 2 for 1 on this one. Put your tape on, gently pat down, not the edges, just where you're pulling the fingerprints. Pull the tape off, and your fingerprints have transferred onto your piece of tape. And what you can do, put your fingerprints on the cardstock so that you have a visual record. I'm going to go through, pick off all the fingerprints off this mug. I could go down and ask Miss Rhonda to ink blot her fingerprints, but she's a little bit busy today. But I could actually do that and compare. Were these her fingerprints on the glass? Whose other fingerprints did I find on there that I've pulled off? So again, keeping my prints at the edge so I don't cross-contaminate. And if we were an official crime scene, we'd be wearing gloves for this. So this is a really nice thumbprint on this side. I'm going to put my tape on, peel off, and I have her thumbprint. Or what I'm assuming to be a thumbprint. I won't know until I take a look at her fingers and compare to what I've pulled off. So this is a really cool activity that you guys can do at home. Try to pull some prints. Take a look at the whirls and swirls in your fingers. See how they're different from finger to finger and from person to person in your family or your 4-H club. For this activity and more great activities, visit Shenango County 4-H on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel, both under Shenango County 4-H. Have a fabulous day.